And it's just about 2 o'clock on the 17th of June, and we are tracking the chance for severe weather across a chunk of the Midwest. So we'll get started in a couple of minutes. As I always ask, please share this on your Facebook page. This is more imperative on a day like today that we need support on social media. And a lot of us aren't crazy about social media, but one thing that we do want to think about is today is a type of day that you do want to use social media. And today is a day that you do want to share. And today is a day that it's certainly a good thing to have social media. So, we have a couple of people on. I will share this in a variety of groups before we get started to make sure we have the following that we're looking for. Severe weather updates, tornadoes, and very large hail. So as I go through this, please ask questions, share, let me know if there's anything that's, truly pressing that people want to know. And of course, I will hold off on a few of these, but just keep in mind, that's kind of what we're looking for. Please share tornadoes and large hail today. So again, if you walk outside, you're going to notice immediately how hot it is, how muggy it is, and just the sort of dynamics that we look for severe weather. Really, the first chance we have seen all year in 2011, or 2011. Some people probably wish it was 2011, 2021, for the chances of widespread severe weather. We're gonna get this on a couple other platforms, and we will get started in another minute or so. So you have a couple of minutes to think about, all right, what am I going to do in this situation? When's the timing? Should I share this on my page? What have you? So let me go here, and we will get started. Again, a few of us have already shared this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One thing I will do is I'm going to share another piece of YouTube. Again, folks that are on YouTube, you can certainly go on to Nelson Media Company. That is, we picked up quite a bit of subscribers here in the last few hours, just again, based on everything that's been going on. We are, oops, no. I want to go here. We are live. There we go. Oops. That's what I want. Oops. Again, we will get started in just a moment, folks. I appreciate your patience. We are live talking about severe weather today with tornadoes and large hail. All right, so what can you expect? Let's get started, folks. Again, Chris Nelson. First time in 2021 that we are under the gun for chances for widespread severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has already put out an enhanced risk of severe weather for Thursday, June 17th of 2021. This was issued from the National Weather Service as well, and this was put out from the National Weather Service in Des Moines. The orange is the enhanced, which is a level 3. On the categories from the Storm Prediction Center talking about the severity for severe weather. Level 3, you get a couple of these every year, but typically you don't go much higher than this. So this is about as high as we go for severe weather. Timing looks to be 5 p.m. to midnight. So folks that are wondering about timing, 5 p.m. will be the earliest. We'll show you convection areas, I think, that will likely be taking place at 5 o'clock and then all the way until midnight. There's going to be a small area and a small window for tornadoes. Possibly this evening, mainly east of I-35. And I'm even going probably east of 218, Highway 218. So anywhere from Decorah, Rochester, Waterloo east is probably going to have the best chance. And all the way out pretty close to the Dells and Madison. That's going to be the area for the best chances for tornadoes. Damaging winds and very large hail, baseball-sized hail possible. So again, the dynamics are set for big time severe weather for today. We'll see again what the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center are saying. We're going to look at current conditions. It's 96 right now in Mason City. The dew point is at 59. Expected high today was 95. So we've already climbed that. West winds at or 16 miles an hour, and about 25 miles an hour are the gusts. We'll look at Rochester right now, and we'll kind of take you through who's hot, who's not. 88, dew point's much higher, 67. It's noticeably muggy right now in Rochester, so that's allowed the temperatures to be a little bit cooler. The reason likely for the mugginess here is that southwesterly wind at 14, gusts to about 20, expected to be reaching about 90, if not higher, depending upon the dew point. La Crosse right now. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you this. This will probably be a little bit easier for everyone from an observation standpoint to be able to see what the current numbers are. What in the heck? Weird. Well, we'll show you this. So very hot temperatures. Again, you look at 91 in La Crosse, it's 96 in Mason City, and we have triple-digit heat. Let's see what Clarion. It's 100 in Webster City. It's 98 degrees in Des Moines. So the dew points are not quite as high, I would say, from Mason City south. But look at the dew points creeping back up. Dew point in Albert Lee is 64, 91. 63 is the dew point in Austin, 95. Dew points are in the mid and upper 60s. So, again, this, if I had to give you an area of concern, if you see my cursor, it's right in here, but especially right here. I would say from Rochester to Waterloo to Madison to the Dells and west. That'll be the locations that need to watch closely the chances for some severe weather. Again, 56 folks on. Appreciate you guys coming on. Share this on your Facebook page. We would like to get at least an audience here. And today is a day that we have to make sure everyone knows about severe weather. Most of us have cell phones, have ways of getting weather information directly from your digital platform. Make sure your neighbors, if they're elderly, they know what's going on. And keep an eye in the sky if there still are some sports going on. I know I'm pretty close with Barb Schwalman from Riceville and Osage. She's the superintendent. She's already canceled some of the activities this afternoon or this evening, which is, I think, a smart call. We're not expecting severe weather until after 5 o'clock, but if these thunderstorms do erupt quickly, they are going to pack a punch. You're talking winds over 75 miles an hour. You're looking at possibly hail the size of baseballs. That's going to create damage to persons, property, whatever. And then the isolated chance for tornadoes. Let's look at from the SPC. We're looking at the regional outlook, and I want to show you specifically first this area. So this has been updated a couple of times. It's shifted a little bit farther east. And right in the middle, I mentioned from the Dells to Dubuque, Waterloo, to Rochester and east. This is the area that has the best chances for tornadoes. The far western side of the enhanced area will see convection take place as early as 5 and as late as 7. So again, chances for severe weather will not take place, I think, at least for a couple more hours. What gets even more interesting, folks, is I want to show this. So here's the tornado risk. This is about a 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles. That has increased. I'm not going to say that's a lot, but with severe weather chances, typically 2% or less. So anything that you go above 2% within that threshold of 25 miles, you have increasing chances. What you have to watch is this hatched area. When you have a hatched area, it's 10% or greater probability of wind gusts to 65 miles an hour or greater. So there is a 30% chance, 1 in 3 will see within 25 miles a chance for at least 70 mile an hour winds or greater. Storm Prediction Center has already mentioned the fact that we could see 75 plus mile an hour winds. Look at hail. Hail, again, this is the area within the enhanced. Excuse me. Getting over a cold. of 2-inch diameter hail. So you're talking golf ball size hail or greater in that hatched area or the red hatched area. That's a 1 in 3 chance within 25 miles you will see golf ball size hail. So this is a situation that, meteorologists don't scare you, but you have to make sure that you don't let your guard down, and you're making sure that you have shelter, something sturdy, making sure you have ways of getting weather information. So let's look at some of our best computer model data. I use Ecology DuPage. I use our numerical model, and we're going to go right to our hour-by-hour forecast. The 18Z just came out, so we'll be able to show that in just a second. But here are the thunderstorms, and this gets more interesting every single time. So as we have seen from your perspective, we have been pushing that chance a little bit farther east, and you can actually see, you can see the winds converging here. That's the front. So some drier air, dew points in the 50s, and then you have dew points in the 70s close to it. Good combination to fire up thunderstorms. But what we've seen is something called cap. So that's kind of throwing off the chances here. You finally break the cap here later on today. But we just can't break through that cap unless you have some type of ascent, some type of trigger. And the trigger is going to be the cold front. And with instability like it is today, I mean, some of these instability values, if you know anything about CAPE, you're looking at over 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram. That's extreme. If most of us, if you get 500 to 1,000, that can produce a thunderstorm. And some areas are producing 5 to 10 times that. Walk outside and you can feel you can feel the changes. It's warm, it's muggy. Clouds have built back in, but this morning it was sunny. It's hot. It's one of those situations we just got to keep a close eye on. Significant tornado is something you got to watch too. And thankfully, our model's not throwing down great chances. That's definitely a welcome relief. We'll see if the 18Z is showing that same thing. North American model keeps the convection right along the Mississippi River, so just west or just east. And any convection that pops up immediately could produce a tornado, could produce very large hail, baseball size, and then we're expecting to see this kind of cluster up and develop into an MCS, mesoscale convective system, which is basically just a long-lived, long-track complex of thunderstorms that, for the most part, produce strong winds and heavy rainfall. We can use the rain. We do not want to use any of the damage that could be associated with some of this stuff. 99 folks on, please share this on your page. We're going to continue to stay on this. 2 o'clock, we started this update. It is 2:11 right now. National Weather Service has not put out any watches or warnings. I am expecting to see the National Weather Service likely issue a tornado watch. The reason for this, again, is the enhanced risk of severe weather that we have put out in this area. This is the SPC regional outlook for today, June 17th of 2011. I would expect a chunk of this orange area to be under a tornado watch by 5 o'clock. Again, difference between watch and a warning. Watch means conditions are favorable for the development of tornadic storms. The analogy that a lot of meteorologists will use between watch and warning, because again, watch means conditions are favorable. Warning means it's imminent, it's happening. A tornado either has been spotted by a trained storm spotter or radar has indicated some type of rotation or hook that gives that warning coordinator at least thinking that, yeah, there's a chance here there could be a tornado. We have to issue a warning. So the best analogy that I can use, a watch is, all right, let's say we're baking a cake and the watch has all the ingredients set up on your cupboard. Okay. There's no cake there yet, but all the ingredients are there. That's the watch. The warning is, hey, when you take out that cake and you put it out fully cooked onto your stove after it's been in the oven and all the ingredients are there, That means they're there. It's imminent. It's happening. We can eat the cake. We can not necessarily eat the tornado, but that's the analogy that we use. Hopefully that is all cleared up for you. Cheers to the coffee drinkers out there. I am curious to see some of the wording from the Storm Prediction Center in the last couple of hours. I have not looked at their forecast discussion. They did update it at 16:30 which is 11:30. Summary here. So if anyone can read this, I'll kind of go through. While guidance will probably be somewhat overdone with a degree of blah, 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 blah. Mid-level CAPE of 25 to 3,500 joules per kilogram, along with very strong speed effective shear. This is going to lead to the chance for some brief tornadoes, severe wind gusts, Boeing clusters, MCSs. Again, the tornado threat looks to be between 22 and 2Z, which is, if I'm doing the math right, I think it's between 5 and 9. Anyone out there that's good with Zulu, I believe it's 5. I think it's 5 to 9. So again, that's kind of the setup here. From what they're saying. What we should show you, though, are the dew points. You don't have high enough dew points? No way are you going to get any severe weather, but I do think they're going to be plenty high enough. So again, you can kind of see how weirdly separated. This is a great analogy to understand the complexity behind weather. It's not all uniform. Again, you don't have an XY and XY axis when you're looking at weather, nor do you have an XYZ axis. Big thing to remember is every second and every atom, every millimeter, every centimeter, inch, foot, yard, mile has a degree difference in wind, in humidity, in temperature, in wind vector, everything. So the complexity behind weather is so hard to tell you, all right, this is when it's going to start. Until we can put that type of information and get that down to the molecule for everywhere where you're trying to forecast, you're going to have a lot of difficulties trying to predict exactly what's going to happen. Now, if we could get down to that point, yeah, we could get to why do tornadoes happen? Why can't we figure out exactly when those thunderstorms are going to erupt? But what I wanted to say is, look how crazy some of the contours are with the dew points. In parts of Iowa where you would expect higher dew points, you only have dew points that are only in the 50s, likely from the rain and storms that he had earlier this morning. Dew points dropped, likely because of the rain, dropped the temperatures that low. So it takes a little bit longer to recover. You talk about atmospheric recovery a lot when you have morning convection and then you're looking for another chance for thunderstorm activity. A lot of times what's going to happen overnight is you're going to have a warm front boosting that low-level jet, producing thunderstorms. Rain will develop. That'll drop the temperatures, drop the dew point, and then based on how quickly that moves out, that'll dictate exactly how we destabilize the atmosphere again. And if you don't have enough sunshine, don't have high enough dew points, you're not going to get a second round of thunderstorms. And that's why this area in parts of Iowa, that's why there is not going to likely be a strong chance of severe weather. But where the tongue of moisture is situated, I mean, really, southern Minnesota and eastern Iowa, under the gun, it looks like. And we'll see. And you can kind of see, look at the dew points really starting to rise then. And this model indicating some dew points. I mean, there's some pretty good atmospheric recovery by 7 o'clock tonight over parts of west central Iowa. And this tongue of moisture with higher index values, you're going to be looking at thunderstorms developing. Higher dew points means, you're going to have a much better chance for not only severe weather, but very large hail. What goes up must come down, that analogy. So a lot of things to look at. All right. We do have about 29 questions. I'm going to get to those questions. Excuse me while I blow my nose. And then we're going to do this probably once again. All right, so let's go back to some of the questions that we have. Colleen, hi, Chris, traveling to Hayward from Plymouth, Iowa, hoping to travel good. If you're moving away from those thunderstorms, Colleen, you should be okay. Nathan, I just want to let you know they extended the enhanced risk farther east. Thank you. Again, 83 folks on here. Please share this on your Facebook page. Wendy, my good friend in Cresco, sharing that. Appreciate it. When will the storm start showing up in Stewartville, Minnesota, which is just south of Rochester? We're looking at after 6 o'clock likely, Brady. Hello, Ashley. You're welcome, Cindy. Brenda, yep, appreciate it. Going down to Duckerton, just keep an eye out on the weather. Severe storms, basically, again. Kristen, I'm sorry. Timing for Austin, again, will be after 6 o'clock. Thank you, Colleen, for sharing. Got a couple other, let's see here. Oh, look at Stacy. Stacy Dawn from Clear Lake. Appreciate that. Again, they have a couple of things going on. Again, Rochester has their Thursdays, obviously. Clear Lake has their Thursdays where they have, music and festivals and kind of a somewhat of a town celebration every Thursday. Osage has the farmers market. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I had to say pack a punch. That's one of my favorite lines. Hello, I'm jumping on. Anything for Owatonna? You're going to be right on the cusp for development. So make sure you are keeping an eye out on the severe weather. Hello, Kim. Could use a good storm. I would agree. What's your thought in and just north of La Crosse for storm chasing? If you're really serious about wanting to do some storm chasing, I would start. I think Decorah is a good spot to start. If you've already kind of set yourself up, like saying, "Hey, I'm traveling down to Iowa," I'd look at Decorah and just look from there. Think about if you want to situate yourself there and watch radar. And we got one more. We got a couple more people coming on here. Shared from Belmont. What's the timing for Appleton, Wisconsin? Looks like I think after 9 o'clock, Jacob. We're in eastern parts of Wisconsin. Again, I would be maybe after 8. Let's not go too late there. Valerie from Forest City saying hello. Stacy saying hey. So lots of good things to think about. Whenever we have severe weather and we do these Facebook Lives, I always ask folks to share in groups, do your watch videos or whatever they're called. Just keep an eye out and alerted for any type of severe weather and convection. Again, we're looking at after 5 o'clock for severe weather to develop. It's hot, it's muggy this time of year. I mean, this week, second to third week of June, is the peak time of year for severe weather. You still have some residual cool air that you could pull in from the north, and you start to get awfully hot and you can get awfully muggy. And you put those together, and that is the perfect recipe for severe weather for this area, for this region, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Jacob, thank you for sharing. Again, I know a lot of people are asking specifics, and I'm going to go back. I have a really good graphic I actually want to show, because this will give you a pretty good idea. Where did they go? I was hoping that I could show that. I think it's here. No. Well, where is that? It had all the updates there. I may be able to pull that up. Dells and West. Nope. I want to be able to show that line of timing. Let's see here. Twitter, Milwaukee. No. National Weather Service. There we go. So let me do that. Twitter. Yep, there we go. This is the one that I want to be able to show. So you should be able to see this, everyone. This is from the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. I know a few people. Tim is the warning coordinator over there. Great guy. Puts together some good graphics too, and this is a great one to be able to show. And I'll kind of point out, here's the corridor of I-35 and I-90 development here again between 4 and 7 behind this line. So that puts all of North Iowa after 7 o'clock. And again, if you're looking from Clear Lake to Osage to Cresco to Decorah, you're going to likely, again, you will be after 6 o'clock. I'd be very surprised. But again, in this area from Albert Lee to Prairie du Chien to Portage, and again, Rochester, La Crosse, Mason City, Osage, and Clear Lake, and all the way to Green Bay, you're sandwiched in between that 7 to 11. I'm a firm believer in this area that there could be some tornadoes that do develop. And we will have a tornado watch issued from the National Weather Service, I think, before 5 o'clock, or at least maybe at 5 o'clock, extended into midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning, potentially. Again, that watch will, I think, be canceled as those storms race east and the cold front sweeps on out of here, because temperatures are expected to drop rather quickly, or at least the dew points. Again, today looks to be one of the hottest days so far. I mean, maybe in the last couple of years. I mean, it's pretty hot. And it's 98 right now in Mason City. I'll have to look at data. I don't know if anyone has that data, but I can't remember the last time Mason City hit 100. It's been a while. Big reason they've gotten warmer is this. That dew point is only at 58. Pretty dry at the airport, where you go 90 miles northeast, and Rochester just hit 90. Their dew point is much higher, 67. Dew point is much higher there. Interesting. Mackenzie, this is really good information. The Weather Service notified county workers here in Mitchell County, Iowa. So the county seat there is Osage. So you have Stacyville, Osage, Riceville, Mitchell. There's a few other spots for cities, but Osage is the county seat, to get a hold of everyone in the campgrounds. So they are expecting, again, the National Weather Service. Mitchell County is run from La Crosse. So La Crosse is doing a very good job of alerting county by county what to expect in this kind of situation. So props to the National Weather Service in La Crosse for doing that. Thank you for that alert, Mackenzie. And by the way, if you can put that out, Mackenzie, on the Weather Network in North Iowa, that'd be great if you post that. I think a lot of people need to know that. Humidity in Appleton right now, Jacob. Let's take a look at that. I have no problem looking at that for you. I would guess it's well into the 60s. Oh, wow, 54. So there's a huge boundary. You know what I'm going to do? I got to look at that boundary. Holy moly. Yeah, I mean, I walk outside and it's muggy. So we certainly could see some initiation right in here if we keep rising our temperatures. I got to look, weathercaster.com, I think it's called. I haven't looked at this one, but one thing I like to look at, I think it's Weathercaster. I haven't done this in over a year. Maybe longer. I'd like to look at some Skew-Ts. Who remembers how to get that? Oh, man. I got to think about this. Work in progress. Oh, there. I think this is it. Where in the heck? Let's see here. Skew-T soundings. We'll look at this, and they did do an extra sounding here, it looks like, in Davenport. So what we look for, and this might look foreign to you, but we look at a couple of things within this sounding. Again, this is a Skew-T, looks probably very foreign to most of you. But what we look for is, in this hortograph too, is kind of some veering and some twisting in the winds as you go through altitude. And this is a pretty good indication that there is that going on. You look for something called veering winds. And veering winds is when the winds start to do this. You can kind of see my mouse. And they're doing that in the lower levels of the atmosphere. That's number 2. Lastly, there is a pronounced, it looks like, cap. I got to look here. Where the heck is the cap? I haven't looked at one of these here we go. Yeah, the cap is, so right now, if you drag this, this air parcel all the way down, the convective temperature would have to be 104 to get any type of development. So there is a cap right now between 850 millibars and the surface. So that's a couple miles up. So what's going on is there's some warmer temperatures just upstairs in the atmosphere compared to about 2 miles up and the surface. So in order for air to rise in Davenport or in this area, temperatures have to be warmer throughout as you go up, and they are not right now. There's a distinct kink right in here, that warm area. So 85 would hit here, and you're going to get some clouds. So that's a big reason why we have some of these low-level clouds right now, is the warm air aloft. And again, there's a lot of meteorologists out there that were talking about this. But one pronounced thing that we are seeing, though, is the expansion of CAPE as you do break up that cap. The expansion of CAPE. Only showing about 1530, but if we looked elsewhere, I guarantee some of the CAPE values would be much, much higher. So somewhat interesting for folks that are passionate about weather. I got to look at that Earl. I cannot remember where the heck to find. I think it's Earl Skew-T. I think if I do that. Here we go. I found it. All right. So let's see. We got let's say, what is Mason City's number? Mason City. Actually, let's look at Rochester. Rochester Airport acronym. Can't remember what it is. I think it's K-Rock. K-Rock? No. Station block number or call letters. Let's say station block number. Airport. Stand by here. We'll get this. We will get it, I promise. Or ICAO. ICAO. Here we go. Let's go to the United States. Region. I haven't done this for a while. You probably can tell. Sorry, folks. Give me a second. This is going to be really interesting stuff. You're going to want to see this. It is K-Rock. Well, what the heck? Huh. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe I have to do that. Let's see if this works. So that works. Why are you not working? Folks, hold tight. Maybe it's just RST. Let's see if RST works. There we go. All right. So this is Rochester just about now. Let's go a little bit deeper. And yeah, it gets crazy. So what I'm looking at here is a crazy amount of CAPE. Best CAPE is almost 4,000. I mean, this is quite a bit, but there's it does look like there is some, let me see where, not a lot. There's not a lot of cap, about 81, minus 81 joules per kilogram. So it's not like it is here or here. That's more cap. So what you look for is warmer temperatures aloft than you would, say, here, which is basically just shooting right up. You're taking an air parcel easily at 21Z and throwing it up. So why do I show this? I show this yeah, you want to see the Skew-T, the Skew page. Sorry. Oh, you do. I'm sorry. You're right. What am I doing? There. Sorry. This is what I wanted to show you. So this is I'll give it a little bit of background on this. Again, you're not going to be an expert at this because, again, it took me several semesters and I'm not even an expert at it. So what you look for is you're trying to get an air parcel to go up. And it looks like it's able to because, again, as you go up, air gets cooler. So that's a good thing. It goes from warm, cool, warm, cool. There's a little bit of warm air aloft, but this air parcel looks like it's able to punch through. And there's a whole bunch of free. This is all free air for that air parcel to roll up. So think of billions and trillions of air parcels flying up. And that's what's showing here for the Cape. Over 4,000 joules per kilogram. So great setup for hail, a great setup for severe weather. You have a lot of veering. Not a ton here, actually. But as you go up, there's a little bit of veering. All right, we're well into 2:30, so I don't want to keep everyone. It looks like everyone's still enjoying themselves. But I will be back between 4 and 5 with an update here. Take care. God bless.